Welcome back to Centrelink Insider. Today is the 2nd of January 2026. I need you to stop what you are doing for just a moment. If you are planning to head to the pharmacy today or anytime this week to pick up your first batch of prescriptions for the new year, please do not open your wallet yet. There is a silent mechanism in the Australian welfare system that reset exactly at midnight on New Year's Eve yesterday. It is the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme PBS safety net. If you walk into a chemist today and buy your medicine the wrong way, you are essentially throwing money into a void. I'm not talking about a few cents for families with chronic conditions or pensioners. We are talking about potentially losing over $500 in rightful savings this year alone. This is not fear-mongering. This is a system reset that catches thousands of Australians off guard every single January. In this video, I am going to show you the one specific administrative step you must take today to lock in your family's medication discounts for 2026. Stay with me because this could be the most profitable 5 minutes of your year. Now, let's clarify a binary confusion that most people have. You might be thinking, I have a concession card or I have a Medicare card, so my medicine price is fixed, right? The answer is a complicated yes, but mostly number. While the individual co-payment for a single box of medicine is capped, your eligibility for free or heavily discounted medicine for the rest of the year is not static. It is cumulative. The government does not just look at who you are, they look at how much you have spent. However, and this is the critical part, the counter that tracks your spending just hit zero. It doesn't matter if you spent thousands last year. As of yesterday, you are back at the starting line. Many people assume their safety net status rolls over like a loyalty program. It does not. If you do not understand how to manipulate this counter from day one today, you are voluntarily paying a lazy tax to the system. Let's look at the hard numbers for 2026 because the thresholds have shifted again with indexation. This is the short-term pain you need to understand. As of the 1st of January 2026, the new safety net threshold for general patients is now $1,748.2. For concession card holders, it is $277.2. Here is the mechanism. You pay the standard co-payment for every script until you hit that specific dollar amount. Once you cross that line, your medicine becomes free for concession holders or drops to the concession price for general patients for the remainder of the calendar year. But here is the trap. This mechanism relies on a tally. If you go to the pharmacy today and buy a script, but the system doesn't attribute that cost to your family's total tally because of a clerical oversight, that money is wasted. It doesn't count towards the $277.2 or the $1,748.2. It effectively vanishes. You are spending money that isn't building your bridge to free medicine. This brings us to the most critical strategy, the family aggregation principle. The PBS safety net is one of the few government schemes that allows you to combine the spending of your entire family unit to reach the threshold faster. This is where the historical tenure of your relationship with Medicare matters. The system calculates your threshold based on the family unit, and this is a huge, but Medicare does not automatically link your spending just because you are married or live together. If you go to the pharmacy and buy heart medication, and your wife goes tomorrow to buy insulin, the computer often sees these as two separate individuals climbing two separate mountains. You might spend $200 and she spends $100. If linked, you are at $300 total, already crossing the concession threshold. If unlinked, neither of you has crossed it. You must force the system to recognize your history as a family unit to trigger the proportional reward. So how do we define this status? It comes down to intent-based registration. You cannot rely on Centrelink or Medicare to infer your intent. You need to perform a specific physical action at the pharmacy counter. It is called the safety net couple or safety net family registration. This is different from just being on the same Medicare card. You can be on the same card but still have your safety net tallies recording separately in the pharmacy's local software if you haven't explicitly asked to be linked for the 2026 safety net year. The Regulator Services Australia requires a clear signal. You need to fill out the Safety Net Registration Form, PBO 40. Or, more simply, tell your pharmacist, please link my spouse and children to my safety net tally for 2026. Without this declaration of intent, the default setting is individual, which is the most expensive setting possible. Now, we must address a massive blind spot, cross-border, or rather cross-pharmacy surveillance. We often assume that in 2026, all computers are connected. We assume that if I buy a script at Chemist Warehouse in Sydney and then buy one at a local pharmacy in Melbourne, the system knows. The reality is much more fragmented. While there is a central Medicare database, the real-time tracking often happens at the pharmacy level first. If you pharmacy hop going to different brands or locations without having your safety net details firmly established, and a prescription record form PRM or an active digital link, the data synchronization can lag or fail entirely. You are essentially hiding your own compliance from the system that wants to reward you. The system cannot reward what it cannot see. If the data is siloed in different pharmacy servers because you didn't link your cards, you will keep paying full price long after you should have qualified for free meds. Let's talk about the operational risk of money flow. What happens if you mess this up? You might say, it's fine, I'll just claim it back later. This is a dangerous mindset. Yes, there is a refund mechanism, but it is fraught with friction. If you overpay because you weren't linked, you have to keep every single paper receipt, thermal paper that fades in weeks, mind you. You then have to fill out a complex claim form, submit it to Services Australia, and wait. In 2026, with processing times fluctuating, do you really want to lend the government $500 of your own money interest free for 6 months? The operational logistics of fixing a mistake are 10 times harder than preventing the mistake in the first place. The risk here isn't just losing money, it is the sheer administrative burden that will cause most people to simply give up and absorb the loss. Furthermore, consider the reverse process latency. If you realize in June that you should have hit the threshold in March, trying to reverse, engineer the system is a nightmare. You have to ask pharmacies to reissue receipts, you have to prove the family relationship existed back in January. The system is designed to be forward-looking, it handles real-time accumulation very well. It handles retrospective adjustments very poorly. The latency, the delay between you realizing the error and the government fixing it, can be months. During those months, you are still paying out of pocket, you are bleeding cash flow simply because you didn't tick a box in January. This is a structural barrier designed to favor those who are organized. There is also the issue of collateral erosion of benefits. It's not just about the medicine. For many pensioners, reaching the safety net threshold is a trigger for financial relief in other areas of the household budget. If you are a concession holder, once you hit that $277.2 limit, your medicines are free. That could save you $30 or $40 a month for the rest of the year. If you delay hitting that threshold by 3 months because of poor record keeping, you have effectively eroded $120 of disposable income. That's a week's worth of groceries. The collateral damage of missing the early threshold is that you are extending the expensive period of your year and shortening the free period. We want to compress the expensive period into the shortest possible time frame. This brings us to continuous compliance and verification. You have a duty to verify your status. Don't trust the pharmacist to remember you from last year. Systems update, software changes, and staff turnover happens. You need to actively verify. Open your Express plus Medicare app. Look at the safety net section. Is your family listed there? Is the tally moving? If you buy a script today and that number doesn't move within 48 hours, something is broken. You need to be the auditor of your own survival. The government will not call you to say, hey, you paid too much. They will happily keep the change. Continuous vigilance in these first few weeks of January is the only way to ensure the system is working for you, not against you. So, here is your defensive action plan for today. It is simple, but you must do it. Step 1. Gather the Medicare card numbers of your spouse and dependent children. Step 2. Go to your regular pharmacy. Try to stick to one, if possible, to minimize data errors. Step 3. Before you hand over any script, say these exact words to the pharmacist. It is a new year. Please check that my family is linked for the 2026 safety net. I want to combine our counts. Watch them do it on the screen. Ask for a printout of your PRM prescription record form if you are unsure. By doing this today, you are front-loading your administrative work to protect your cash flow for the next 363 days. Do not let the system's silence cost you money. Please share this video with your parents or anyone with chronic illness. They are the most vulnerable to this reset. Stay informed, stay ahead, and I will see you in the next update.